Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forged Alliance Forever. Today, I have a 5v5 custom match here on the most amazing Nukes map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. Starting off with Team 1 in the Northwest, ending with Team 2 in the Southeast. Starting off with Team 1 Southwestern player, they're working our way northward. We have in Ruby Red, Team 1's UEF player of Failure. He is a 1700. He is tied for the highest rated player on his team and tied for the highest rated player overall. To his northeast in Chevy Crimson is a Cybran of Nogetsune. He is the player with Failure, is tied for the highest rated player on his team and, of course, highest rated player overall. Again, 1700 as a Cybran. In the Rare God Slay hit for Team 1 in Stitch Blue is a UEF of Chap. He is a 1200. In the East, in Regal Purple, it is MCV as a Cybran as a 1400. And another Cybran here for Team 1 in Orange, the color Orange. It is Cups. He is a 1500. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 3 Cybran, 2 UEF, no Aeon, no Seraphim for Team 1. Starting off with Team 2's Northeastern player, they're working our way southward. We have in Batman Gray, faffing off as a Cybran. Lots of Cybrans here in this game. He is a 1700. He is tied for the highest rated player on his team and tied with the highest rated player overall. To his southwest, we have in Forest Green, the player with which he is tied on his team for the highest rated player. It is Tantau, and he is an Aeon for this match. He is also tied, of course, with Nogetsune and Failure for Team 1. So 4 1700 rated players, 2 on each team. Of course, all tied for the highest rated player overall. To his south, we have in Pac-Man Yellow Stinky Joe as a 1000 rated player, and he is a UEF. To his west is the rust-colored player of XXXXXX, also known as 6X or X or whatever name I'll end up cutting his name down into. He is a 1400. And last but not least, for Team 2, it is RNA as a 1500 in Royal Blue, not Regal Purple. He is a 1500. So for Team 2 side of the map, there are 2 UEF, 2 Aeon, 1 Cybran. Team 2 lacks Seraphim tech, so does Team 1, which means there are no Seraphim players. Apologies to those who love to arrive late and make grand entrances at the same time. Hopefully you enjoy the game nonetheless. And as a reminder, Team 1 also lacks Aeon tech as well. And for these 10 players on the map, let's take a look how much reclaim they have to scoop up as I trip over my words. Currently sitting at 9,000 mass. Okay, not bad. About 900 mass per player. Most of it is dotted in these giant reclaim fields on the edges of the map here, northeastern and southwestern corner. We do see it's mainly just a bunch of, those look like thams. Yeah, some of them are thams. Some of them are maybe, I don't know what, maybe obsidian is what that looks like. But this is, of course, going to be a little bit of contention point, but it does look like for the most part, at least the kind of edges of the map, Team 2 is going to get their reclaim. For the most part, Team 1 is going to get their reclaim. We do see a couple of units outbound from Cups to try to curtail any sort of engineers. There already is one over here, and by the time Team 1 sends some forces in, it's really not going to matter. But the map does make up for the lack in reclaim, at least average reclaim, with a decent amount of mixes. Team 1 side of the map, there is a Trimix position right here next to Failure. Another one right there. We have one in front of Nogetsune. Another one in the middle of Cups and MCV. MCV will probably get that one, maybe. Probably not. And then we see Cups and have another Trimix over there. So that's 1, 2, 3. No, that one's not 3, 4, 5 Trimix positions on the front line. And then a nice, I'm going to call this a 5-star mech position because realistically, there's nothing that's going to be fought over. Oh, and there's all the Trimix position back here, as well as so actually 6 of them. But that's a 5-star mech position. Nice little position for an air guard to just expand outwards a little bit, to have a separate sort of air facility just in case land is incoming from the other side of the map. And in the middle of the map, there is a couple of mexes to fight over, but it's very much devoid of everything else. I do, of course, will point out I like the texturing of the map. These kind of lightning designs, they kind of look like lightning trees is kind of what I'm getting, or veins, or however you want to call them. They definitely look pretty good. I did like, of course, my favorite kind of stylization of the water was in that one, not pre-made map, but it was a, well, I guess it was a made map forget what it was called, but it was a snow map. It had all these glaciers in the water, made the water look very, very pretty from very far out, kind of like this view. So I do like the more texturalized maps, not this kind of, oh, it's just a bland desert or a bland plains kind of environment. I do like this kind of nice little breaking up the traditional mold. It kind of reminds me of a little bit of the Bunny Roanoke map, where it's kind of a circular island, but instead of the water, it's land. Instead of land, it's water. It's kind of a little bit of the feeling that I get. Anyways, while I go on a tangent about geography and map design and whatnot, does look like for the southwestern section of the map, it's going to be a 2v1 in favor of Team 2, with Noketsune posting up in the middle. We do see that Fafingov is pushing in on the east. Looks like it's going to be a 1v1, so it's really going to be possibly a 2v1 in favor of Team 1. So advantage to Team 2 in the south, advantage to Team 1 in the middle, and then a 1v1 most likely. We do see Fafingov is shifting westward, but I would not be surprised to see him shift back eastward just to intercept Cups' commander. We do see that the rearguard air slot here for Team 1 of Chap is moving in to assist the middle, so possibly a 3v1, 3v2 scenario. But we do see that Fafingov have gone for gun first, which means he's going to try to push in on Team 1's position. We'll see if that ends up working for him or not. Again, it is a possible 2v1, 3v1 kind of scenario. Again, it's very fluid, especially this kind of map design right here. So it's going to be a little bit interesting to see what players go where. We do see counter upgrade has been started here for MCV. And I think that's the only upgrade so far. Team 1, specifically Cups, has claimed the northeastern corner of the map. Team 2 has realistically done the exact same thing, except Team 2 has a little bit more annoyances to deal with from the comp of failure. We do see it's RNA versus him. Both UEF, no faction advantages one way or the other. First come-on-come action has occurred between these two players, so we'll see which way they go. It does look like there are some more reinforcements inbound from Failure, so he's going to be probably perfectly fine. There are some T1 bombers overhead, which are slowly eating away at the land facilities nearby. I mean, it's not going to be that much of a problem for him. The main problem, of course, is he doesn't have engineers, so he can't build some T1 or T1 AA or T1 PD to assist. So he's just going to be a little bit down in terms of the ability to fight back in the static department. But he is getting some archers online, so that should help with those T1 bombers. We do see Fafingov getting a little bit bruised by Cups' forces, but he bats those away quite quickly. Of course, the AA units in the Cybran side of things can shoot at ground units. Now, shoot at is the word that I would use. Actually hit the target is another word. Their accuracy is not great. It's not great. And T1 PD, of course, trying to curtail any sort of reinforcement. So those two Mantis will be fine. But, of course, any more inbound from that avenue is going to be a little bit annoying to deal with. We do see that the Aurora using the hover tech to the advantage, avoiding the little pond there and just kind of not really worrying about any sort of land issues, and a couple more units inbound. Blaze is online here now for Team 2's Tantal. So he has T2 land online at 8 minutes. Stealth has been started in the middle here for Noketsune. He already has gun. T2 air online for Team 1. T2 air also online for Team 2. I don't see any other T2 air facilities as of yet. So it looks like it's going to be just a 1v1 in the air game. But of course, that may not stay that way. We do see Cups is moving in on the eastern edge of the map. The downside, though, of course, is now Fafingov is pushing into the east. He could cut off Cups' ability to retreat, which could put him in a very bad way. We do see T2 engineering suite started for him. He might try to land invade in Fafingov's base, but it's going to be one of those scenarios where even if he engages and wins a little bit of territory and kills off a bunch of stuff, he's going to be isolated over there. So unless he gets a transport in to pick him up right after he's done, that's probably a dead calm, a one-way trip. Another way to put it. Gun has been started here for Tanto. He has speed / range upgrades on board as the Aeon side of things. 6X going for T2 and Gun going for RNA in the west. So I think everybody on Team 2, besides the rearguard air sub player, has some sort of upgrades on board. Of course, Stinky Joe is focusing on his air facility, so no issues not going for any sort of upgrades. Team 1's rearguard air sub player of Chap is in the middle. Of course, getting a couple of mexes and a facility, probably just for reclaim purposes. We do see MCV is going to push in with those non-existent reinforcements. He's all by his lonesome. Definitely would not recommend, but it does look like he heard me through the ether and is sending them to intercept himself and those units from Tantal. We do see no Kitsune is pushing westward, most likely trying to just prevent the incursion from 6X over here. We do see it's just his T2 upgraded suite on board. He's going to produce some PD emplacements. Faffing off. I keep saying faffing off. No Kitsune, of course, has stealth, so Team 2 won't see him initially. They can see the footsteps. I guess, yeah, they can see the footsteps right there, and his comm has been spotted. PD will be most likely denied. 6X is not going to feel good. He has one PD online. That one is badly bruised and broken. That one's already offline. A couple of Aurora come in to try to just throw no Kitsune off, but here we come. Large group of forces going to just collide with one another in the west. Nothing really crazy going on over there. In the east, don't see anything super crazy. We do see some pushing in from MCV, but 6X is still trying to go for that T2 PD emplacement. Probably needs to go to some T1s just to deal with all of these Mantis and all these Medusa. 6X is going to start moving, though, because he has now been completely surrounded. 6X might be the first casualty of the game. I do want to split things just a little bit, so that way we can keep track of everything else going on the other parts of the map. We do see that land invasion has occurred for Cups and MCV and faffing off, and even Tantal with a shield on board now is starting to be pushed back. But 6X is going to be the first casualty of the game. All of those units have been eliminated, but unfortunately that is a kill for Team 1. Unfortunately for Team 2. I'm not rooting for Team 1 and Team 2 in any degree. Just it's unfortunate for Team 2. It's fortunate for Team 1. Somebody's a winner, somebody's a loser. It's just kind of how the game works. And 6X saying there was too many units. Yeah, it's kind of unfortunate. We do see RNA and Phaler just having at it over here. 1-star veterancy for Phaler and no gun. Gun, 1-star veterancy, and nano online for RNA, so heavily in favor of Team 2's RNA. A couple of Riptides and Pillars try to break through and do a decent job of essentially tying down some Team 1 forces, but I don't think that's going to last that much longer. A couple of those units inbound from No Kitsune do get past some defenses here for now. RNA, since he gets unit control from 6X. In the east, counter PD has been built, and I don't really think it's going to go anywhere. It looks like the T2 land headquarters is fine. A couple of mexes were taken offline, nothing too crazy. We do see there isn't any radar systems nearby, which means those PD cannot target any sort of thing. There's no vision over there. Of course, Cups is just slowly making his retreat back home. He has broken through a little bit with a couple of Wagners, but again, it's just not really anything consequential. We do see Tantal is being shoved into the water so far here from MCV. Faffing off is now actually switched things up, not going for MCV, but going straight for the Mexes here for Cups. Essentially doing what Cups is doing over there, but more a direct route rather than using the edges of the map. Gun damage range has been started for Phaler in the west, but of course RNA is nearby with nano and gun of his own, so as much as that gun is going to help, RNA is going to be able to survive unless it's a gun nano match-off or matchup. Mirror match? Mirror match. That's what I'm looking for. Faffing off is going to retreat there, and MCV is going to intercept him. Gun and stealth, so again, very similar builds here for Team 1's and Team 2's Cybern Commanders. Spy planes over top tells me T3 air has been achieved by Stinky Joe. T3 air has been achieved by Team 1's Chap. So again, it's still a 1v1 in the air game. We could see somebody on Team 2, most likely RNA, dip his toes into air a little bit now that he has dual bases. It looks like he's pumping out some Aeon and UEF combined forces. We do see that RNA again. He's pretty much busy just dealing with Phaler. Phaler now has the gun on board. And again, it's that whole nano v no nano thing. 16 hit points versus 62. Oh, look at that overcharge. Just hook around and grab that Riptide. The Riptide definitely wishes he was not there. Oof, that was rough. That didn't feel good. A couple of units moving in to defend Faffing off his commander. He could be going for Cups' position over here. He has some naval facilities online and has T2 Navy going for cruiser first, not Salem, so wants to make sure he's protected in the air department first. I honestly do like that approach because realistically he doesn't have that much really under threat as of right now. So going for AA to just shore up defenses back here and then pushing him with Salem's, I think is definitely the better route. We do see T2PD being assisted, T2PD not being assisted, so it's only a matter of can this amount of repair stave off the death before that Cerberus PD is able to kill it off. It does look like it's going to be close. One's in the red, one is not in the red. And we do see that that PD emplacement does get killed off before this one dies. Barely gets destroyed. But even though it didn't get destroyed, a nice little couple of Harbingers and faffing ops comm would have been more than enough to deal with a couple of tickle cannons from Team 1. We do see some more reinforcements up here. And Team 2's Tantar is just roaming around the map in the northeastern corner. Lots of mexes have been died and repaired here for cups. So he's perfectly fine with just, I get a couple of mexes for 5-10 minutes and then they die and I come back 2 minutes later and then repair them. That's no biggie, but it does look like Team 2 is able to mostly claim and keep a hold of some of those positions now. Not like it was earlier on. Team 2's momentum has slowed significantly since the death of 6X's comm. We do see a couple of triads saying, hey, Failer, go away. We don't want you over here. Go away. And he will oblige and retreat at least a little bit further back. I think his next position should probably be right about here. He's not going to get this Trimex position as much as he wants it. It's just going to be a little bit of PD creep. And since RNA can just pop his head in and out of the water, it's really going to be difficult for him to keep that position. And look at that. All 3 mexes are already taken offline very quickly. They were T1s, to be fair. But still, Tantal saying cruisers. And yeah, there is a cruiser. Of course, it is not a UEF one, so no missile threat. It can fire onto land units. But again, Cybran accuracy with AA units is not great. Not great at all. We do see still comm on comm action. Phalar has dropped into the yellow. Can do as much damage as RNA, but can't rip up the hit points like he can. T2 Valiant class Destroyer online for RNA, and that's going to shove Phalar away. He's going to be like, okay, fine, okay, that's fine. I'll go away now. Stop hurting me. And that range on the Destroyer isn't terrible. Oh, that is the wrong blue player. There we go. The red range is what he can fire at. Once the cruisers come online for RNA, I don't think there's going to be a contest at all for this section of the map. We do see some Titans building up. Would love to see more Percys, though, from Phalar. We do see a couple of Spearheads, though. Love to see those roam in the map. But no Percys as of yet. Looks like he's going for more long-range weapons versus some bruising weapons of the Percy department. We do see faffing up is being hit by a couple of cruisers, and he is suffering a decent amount of hit point losses. He's up to 11,000 hit points. We do see some radar systems being built to provide intelligence for Cups and everybody else on Team 1. We do see MCV is just almost staring down Tantal. I don't really know what's going on with that, but nothing too crazy. In the middle of the map, nothing has really happened. We see Chap has a T2 intel installation, couple of PD emplacements, couple of mexes, going to get a shield up. Again, it's a nice central position, but it's not really doing anything. And Team 2 is now building some sniper bots, so slowly that will eat away at that position if not treated. It's kind of like a sickness. The longer you keep it there, the worse it gets and the more it just corrupts. Cruiser is online, and here comes the missile bombardment. We see counter missile bombardment inbound from the Spearheads. There is a Mex offline, more PD being built. Of course, the wall section provides nice little curtailing of incoming land forces. ASF. Oh, was that a Control K? No, that was a kill, but it looked like a Control K. Team 2 scores their first kill of the game on Phalar. So it is now a 4v4 game. And unfortunately for Team 2's air player of Stinky Joe, that kill was above all of those ASFs. So that's why I said it looked like it was a Control K, because the ASFs flew right over and then the comm exploded. So was that intentional or not? Could have been a happy accident. At the end of the day, lots of ASFs did die. Not that it's a huge issue for Team 2, though. It looks like they were in the lead, and Chap is focused on other things. He only has one ASF online, so nothing really to worry about that. No Gutsunedo sitting on 340 mass per second now with the additional mass income from Phaler's facilities. We do see Nokitsune's building. Most likely Nano on board. That's the central upgrade. Yep, that's Nano. Maybe he'll go for cloaking. We do see Faffing Off has built his own Nano. Again, those Siren Commanders getting the upgrades to upgrades to upgrades. T3 land headquarters is suffering not terribly. We do see some TMD going to be built. Unfortunately, I think that Pigeon is not going to make it. A couple more cruisers, and that's a dead base over there. We do see attack has commenced, and we see a rare unit make its appearance here. The Absolver T3 Disruptor. Very annoying. It's due to the fact that it is a shield disruptor. It doesn't do a lot of damage to anything else, but put that in a group of incoming Harbingers and a couple of Asylums, and any shield grid goes bye-bye just because they just absolve Team 1 or Team 2 or anybody of shield strength. I don't know if it works on comm shields. That would have to be a test. I would assume that it does, but that would have to be a kind of a test bench kind of thing. Lots of forces being deployed in the middle here. T2 facilities being upgraded to. Looks like going for Wagners or Rhinos or whatever. But Harbingers are now starting to be overwhelmed by a couple of bricks and other forces from MCV. MCV trying to keep Team 2 at bay. Harbinger personal shields. Very nice. Of course, Ascendants as well. Don't see any Obsidians, though. Very unfortunate to not see those. But there is a nice little Serenity now. Nice little T3 mobile artillery. And the position here for Chap is now destroyed, gone. It doesn't exist anymore. It did at one point, but now it is no more. Salem now has stretched its legs and has now walked onto land. The only unit in the game that can do that in terms of Navy to land. There's land to Navy with the hover tech, but no Navy to land. We do see Faffing Off is continuing to just push forward. He's getting bombarded by some cruisers as my dog has a fit about something going on somewhere in the house. We do see gun advanced range has been started for Tantal's commander. And he's going to sit underneath coverage for a while. Don't know if he'll move into intercept. It does look like the cruisers are just a little bit more than Faffing Off wants to deal with. If he gets cloaking on board, he'll be perfectly fine. But he really wants that Salem, but I just think the cruiser threat... Oh, and here we go. T3 transport dropping off a couple of Lobos inbound, I think, for his base. Actually, no, it's going to go in deep, going for the southeastern corner of Stinky Joe's position. They have been spotted. Are there any ASF inbound? There are some ASF over here. Are they going to be called in time? Pings are being dropped saying, hey, look what's going on over here. We do see the ASFs moving into where the Continental was, not where it's going. Gunship is inbound to intercept any ground units. It can fire at the transport, though. And the transport does drop off its payload of Lobos. Oh, and those Lobos are able to fire a volley of shots. Looks like they're going to get a T2 max, which, again, is better than nothing. That's 9 mass a second. So, is it really worth it? It's probably dead even in terms of the Continental plus the Lobos plus the time it would take to rebuild. It's not the best trade. Had he gotten 2 or 3 mexes, it would have been way worth it, but just wasn't able to do so. We do see Faffing Off has pushed back in with Tantal's commander. He has regular shield and advanced range and speed on board. We do see that Salem is booking it. He's like, get me out of here. My little stubby legs can only get me so far. Lasers are moving in to intercept. The cruisers are definitely a little bit more of the dangerous threat here. There's a lot of just lead being thrown down range. Cup's building some T1 PD to assist, but again, Tantal has advanced range, so he doesn't really need to worry about at least T1 PD. So does Faffing Off, but Faffing Off, of course, is probably gunning for Cups' commander. Cups has stealth and T2, so he can't really defend himself in the offensive capabilities, more hit points kind of department, but he might be not long for this world. It does look like Cups is getting the memo and saying, okay, fine, I'll leave. There, of course, are some units that went after that Salem, got the Salem, and now like, okay, we're done with this cruiser nonsense. And they are focusing down those Navy units. Cups is trying to defend, but He just doesn't have the firepower to really deal with them quickly. And here come the rest of those blazes. Another Salem or two is up here, and I will say this. Blazes don't have a lot of hit damage per shot, but again, 1,000 of anything will kill anything. And here we come. Gunships are inbound. And if the Blazes weren't going to get everything done, the gunships were going to. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes after that T2 naval headquarters up there. But in the north, Faftingov sends his forces into Cups' main base. A couple of PD to deter them northward. Looks like a couple of Pigeons were taken offline. Nothing too damaging. There is a T3 that desperately wants to be built, but maybe it will get done. T2 Pigeon might survive. No, it's not. No, that's not going to survive. There's a couple more engineers. T3 land headquarters would definitely be devastating for Cups. He should be fine, though. There is still PD in range. And Tantal builds an experimental. He is Aeon, most likely a Colossus. Now we see some units inbound from MCV pushing into this position. At the same time, that look at this. Team 1's Nogetsune has now almost encircled Tantaro's frontline position with the assistance of MCV and is pushing southward as well. Main base under threat here from the if I can speak correctly, bricks from Nogetsune. Man, I'm just struggling to speak today. I don't know what it is. Maybe because it's Friday, my brain is trying to take a holiday or something. Who knows? We did see a Colossus done, or we saw experimental done here for Tantal. Don't know where it is. Oh, there it is right there. He's waiting for those moles inbound and other Team 1 forces. There are a couple of bricks inbound. They are going to lose a couple of T2 mexes, but again, the Colossus is going to protect the main base, so nothing too worrisome there. A couple up Percy's moving in to intercept a bouncer and brick wall. A couple of PD hastily being built as well. They will do a great job of that. The bricks might get a little bit more done, but T3 mechs will probably be taken offline. More Percy's being deployed as quickly as they're being lost. Of course, no reinforcements for Team 1 for a while. It looks like the engineers are the target. Don't want any more PD being built. But again, it's just one of those scenarios where you're kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Either you go for the PD, you go for the units, you go for mexes. Pretty much everything will be repaired. Actually, they don't even get that T3 mex. I thought they would. That would have been way more worth it than trying to go after engineers. Team 2 on the western edge of the map for RNA has now claimed it. Same position that Cups was in earlier. And the TMD war has begun. TMLs versus TMD. Would love to see some Loyalists added to that mix just to redirect some missiles and cause some havoc over there. Cups is still trying to retain his facility and has now almost lost his T2 naval headquarters. There is one lonely cruiser remaining, but there's two of them remaining. And I don't think they're going to get any work done. Where did those gunships go? Oh, they went back to base, I guess, for Stinky Joe. 27 minutes on the clock, and I haven't even done the match in the halfway point here so far, so I'll do it now. Team 1 at 4 players left, losing Failer. And Team 2 losing 6X or XXXXXX. He was the first casualty of the game. Team 1 and Team 2 sending out 1.2k mass each, so no advantages one way or the other. And map control... I'd say 51 for Team 2, 49 for Team 1. Of course, the water's a little bit deceptive in terms of who really owns Navy, sections of water, that sort of thing. But let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, because why haven't you done it already? Like the video and subscribe to the channel. Of course, thank you so very much for watching to this point in the video. I encourage each and every single one of you to watch to the end, because again, you've already watched pretty much halfway through. You might as well watch to the end, because why the heck not? We do see cloaking has been started for Nogetsune. And again, he has the laser on board now, so he's going to play the cloaking laser commander of the Cyberin side of things. He's not going to do the teleport play, at least as of yet, but he already has half of them, or half the upgrades built anyway, so kind of easy to pivot to teleport instead of cloaking. We do see similar attempts are being made by Nogetsune, similar to what Tantal and Faftingov did in pushing off against RNA's position. There are a lot of missiles inbound, and they're shooting where the units were, not where they are. And Nuke is outbound from Chap at 59 minutes. Does Team 2 have adequate SMD defense? And there is an SMD. It was pretty much just built, and that would be a no. And that actually might be the the second casualty for Team 2, that being Stinky Joe's Calm right there. Ooh, that nuke is inbound. He'll see the nuke if he's paying attention to it, the trajectory of it. He's got to move. It's going to be a dead calm. It's not going great. Unless there's a secret SMD somewhere that I don't know about. His calm is moving. I think he's going to get at... Oh, he's going to be close. Kaboom! He barely gets singed there, but his entire air grid is gone. Man, had he not made that last second decision to move out, he would have been a dead calm. And Cups does get defeated by Stinky Joe at the same time. Looks like he got killed off by those Tort Bombers. So that's probably why Stinky Joe was a little bit distracted there. So Team 1 loses a player at the same time they try to kill a player on Team 2. The same player that actually got the kill, to be fair. So it is a 4v3 in favor of Team 2 for the first time in the game. We do see a couple of just ASFs sitting on the ground. Don't really see this every day. Missiles, attack missiles, are hitting ASF. Not something you do see every day. There's also a E-storage right there. And even if they fly away, they're going to get hit by the AA anyway. So it's kind of a, again, rock and a hard place kind of scenario. One ASF out of that squadron or so gets away. Jap says tell who to nick next. RNA is a good target, and I was going to say Tantal's a good target because he's producing those Colossi. But of course, SMD is almost built and almost loaded, already built for him, so no real issues there. Cup says SMD right there for RNA, so that's not a good target. How did I not die from that nuke? I was standing in the middle of my base. Yeah, I was surprised you made it out of there. You barely got singed, so it is evidence that you were kind of in range, but you moved just enough. Brick up to the north here from faffing off. Monkey Lord moving in to intercept. We'll get a couple of mass storages killed, but will not get the actual extractor destroyed. Now we see that MCV sitting on dual bases. Nogitsune did not keep it. He gifted it over to his teammate, so it is one player for the eastern half, one player of the western half, and then the air player for Team 1. Team 2 has more of one western player, two eastern players, and then the air player. So if trend lines continue, either faffing off or Tantal will be destroyed next, and it will be a west, east, and air player for Team 2. We do see Colossus staying... it's staying proud. Unfortunately, I don't think an Omni is nearby or spy planes, which means that Cloaking and Laser Commander from Nogitsune will kill off that Colossus very easily, unless Team 2 just easily spots him. Nope, you can see the laser has been activated, so unless ground firing occurs, that Colossus is... Oh, ground firing has occurred, and Nogitsune is dodging the best he can. Of course, it's not the best in terms of targeting. Nogitsune walks into a little bit of fire. Colossus will die before the comm has died, or will be destroyed. Lots of bricks online for Nogitsune. Loses a couple of ground fire, or not ground fire, but crash damage. But Team 2 is severely weakened now. Nice little gift of mass here from Team 2 to Team 1. I think that's payment for Cups being killed. I think that's kind of the condolence payments here. A couple of Percys trying to make their way onto land. They take out a decent chunk of the TMD. There's a lot of T1 PD being built, and they are ripping through the hit points on the Percys quite nicely. But the T3 land headquarters, because of all the Team ND been taken out, the missiles are getting through. The shield is being regened as we speak. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, that's not going to be great. It does look like the shield is not enough to shield the majority of the land facility, which means it will be killed off by missiles. There it goes. Nice grab from RNA. Denies UEF tech in the land side of things for Nogitsune. But he has actually shifted the air production as well, so there is two air players. There are two air players for Team 1. I can English, I promise. In the east, faffing off. Not sitting underneath the shield, not sitting in the water, just kind of hanging out. Would like to see him just sit in the water just in case Team 1 has some forces that come in over air or land. You know, it could be land forces, but I highly doubt it at this point. We do see a Colossus leading a nice group of Harbingers here with a lot of Asylums to bolster the defenses. Colossus versus Monkey will only go one way, even at full HP. Harbinger is going to add to that blitzing down of said Monkey Lord. There are a couple of PD trying to help, but it's not going to go anywhere. Brick gets grabbed here by the Colossus. Still firing. even though it's been grabbed. But still able to actually do damage to units, even if it's going to be crushed to death anyways. Nogitsune says nuke here. I don't know if that's even warranted. He has a large group of bricks over there that can easily intercept. He's currently sitting at 69 bricks. Nice. And those can easily intercept that Colossus. I guess he just doesn't want to use them. 2 strap bombers and a couple of gunships and ASF inbound to assist. It will slow down the Colossus and a couple of units, but it will not completely derail it. Lots of flak. The gunships are going to be ripped apart here pretty quickly. They are, of course, targeting that Colossus. Here come those bricks moving in intercept. Nuke is going to land in front of the Colossus, so as long as that Colossus does not move forward, he will be perfectly fine. Oh, yeah, if he'll not move, he'll be perfectly fine. Another monkey in the water. Team 2's got to watch out for that. But Team 2's Colossus goes north. The Harbingers go west, which means the Harbingers are going to be wiped out. Oh, that's not great. Colossus might get clipped. Nope. Kaboom. Takes out the Harbingers. Does not lose the Colossus, but loses all of the T3 land support. Unfortunate, but better than nothing. We do see Nogitsune is now being hit. Does look like an Omni is nearby. He gets underneath the surface of the water just barely. His laser is actually still activated for a while there. I do like that effect of when he gets the low HP, that his cloaking gen field thingamajig, like the way that he's silhouetted, pulsates red. I feel like that's a cool feature. 2 Colossus over here. Team 2's RNA is pumping those things out. Laser has been started. Cloaking has been canceled for MCV. We do see Colossus is now being attacked from behind by the comm once again. Nogitsune, again, 5-star veteran, so he can't get any more hit points from back, at least additional ones. He does help assist with taking out the remaining Colossi over there. But again, it's just the scenario of he's putting his comm very in a compromising position. And there is an Omni. RNA is barely able to see him once he passes that Chevy Crimson ring. He's out of range. Like I said, it just comes down to, can that comm of Nogitsune stay undetected? A Revenant pretty much killed off there by that AA emplacement. Does drop its payload. That's another 3,000 hit points gone. Factory Pump Engineer says cups. Oh, for reclaim. Yeah, I definitely agree with that, just to make sure they have some mass going into their coffers. Team 2, I saw 8,000 mass. That is not true. 2K mass versus Team 1's 1.2. That is not good for Team 1, because that is a huge discrepancy to be behind. And that's mainly driven the fact that there's multiple positions taken offline, whereas this position, essentially all of the mass is gone. We do see it's going to be a nice influx of mass here once those wrecks get reclaimed. But Team 1, I mean, they're not really producing as much as Team 2 is. Just in general, Team 2 has 690 for RNA, 650 for Tantal, and then Stinky Joe and Faffing Off are below that. So more than half of the players on Team 2 are producing more than any player on Team 1. And they definitely are echoing more Team 2 is than Team 1. That's partly due to the fact that they've had a long time to just sit back, relax. They are being decently aggressive, and they're gaining territory as they go, which means everything in the back line is fine, and of course everything's being upgraded as they go, and just more mass, more mass, more mass, more mass. Grab holding position, protecting the reclaim. We do see Colossi inbound to deal with this column of bricks. Still, the cruisers over here are just annoying. Nogitsune, he's lost that charming position entirely. Those Colossi will pop out of the water and start grabbing some lonely bricks who are just trying to make ends meet. But unfortunately, they were caught unawares. Unawares? Unaware? I think it's unawares. Never remember how to say that correctly. Another Colossus in the middle here for Tantal. Is Team 2 producing any sort of spicy items at this point? It is, of course, 38 minutes. Somebody's got... Oh, okay. Well, there's one thing. RNA starts an emissary. That's good to see, and just all of the Colossi over there. Over here, another emissary has been started for Tantal. So 2... Aeon T3 artillery installations are going to be built here shortly. Team 1, crab, and more crab. Feeling crabby here is MCV. Satellite, of course, that's where the nuke is. So satellite's online here for Team 1. Anything back here? Nope, nothing back there. And nothing else here for Team 1 as well. So the main items are a nuke and a satellite versus Team 2's potential 2 artillery pieces. Looks like they're having some lag issues. And RNA control. Oh. Finit never. Hold on. I want to pause it for a brief moment. Does look like he had a eject. Oh, that's very unfortunate. Looks like RNA had some connection issues and it just got ejected from the game, unfortunately. It happens. It's very unfortunate. Team 2, that doesn't count as a kill. That just counts as an unfortunate incident. He was really doing a great job here on the southwestern side, and the trend did not continue. Team 2 did not lose a player on the eastern side. They lost one on the west. And look at this huge breath of green for Tantal. He's now producing 1.4k mass. So with RNA's departure, Tantal's eco just doubles overnight, which is amazing because he's going to be able to produce that artillery emplacement very quickly, and then probably roll right back to that other one that's down over here. And he's actually going to finish this one first. That is huge for Team 2. Unfortunately, of course, RNA had to leave the game. Not his fault. He wasn't killed off by anybody. Don't count those as kills just because it's not really unfair. It's not fair to count them as a kill. It's an unfortunate accident or instance. Looks like the Colossi over here having some disagreements about color scheme with these crabs. And I think the crabs will actually win that argument. We do see Nogetsune sitting over here as well. Just trying to hang out, not be protected. Snipe, says Chap. Snipe the Fat Boy? Why? It's not really doing... It's not even built yet. It's not even doing anything. This is the thing that Team 2 should... Team 1 should be worried about, which is the Emissary, which is currently now firing. The second one over here should almost be done. This is ringed with P-Gens. This one needs to be ringed with P-Gens. Need to get on that sooner rather than later kind of thing. But artillery is inbound. We do see a couple of bricks walking to a bar, and MCV is there. MCV, I think, is just being ground fired. Oh, yeah, he's being ground fired, which, honestly, it isn't going to really work out for the bricks. It is possible to ground fire with bricks and kill off a cloaking laser commander, but with a bunch of gunships, 2 monkeys, no, not really going to work out. In the east, Monkey tries to just waltz on by. Faffing Off is sitting right there, and the Monkey just does not target the comm. And now Faffing Off does receive some fire from that Monkey Lord, but that Monkey Lord has dropped below 1,000 hit points. The Hives could easily just break claim. Does get a rank in veterancy, so stave off death ever so slightly, and there goes that Monkey. ACU. Everyone's like, ping the comm. The comm did almost die. So had the Monkey targeted the comm first, he would have died. Unfortunate for Team 1, but sometimes you're distracted doing other things. They have T3 artillery find it. Well, there's one right there. I think Team 1 has already found it. Yeah, there's one right there. And, of course, there's one right there. So Team 2 has 2 artillery pieces online. And a Fat Boy almost done there. And a Fat Boy being built there. And looks like the secondary air grids here for Nogetsune are being the target of the artillery bombardment. Strap bombers are inbound. And that's not great for Team 2. They're on a collision course with... I don't even know what they're on a collision course with. Looks like they're going... Oh, well, it looks like they turned... and some of them are going to break through the AA. Looks like that artillery piece will see better days. Maybe they're going to go after the SMD. It's right next door. ASAP come in at a good moment. Bombs not dropping because they're going to go for Tantal's commander. The shield's perfectly fine to protect him. Not... Oh, that's not even close to Beacon. Unfortunately, Team 1, that attempt just does not work. But on the western side, though, it is really working here for the bricks. Man, they are just paving away at Team 2's Navy and everything else. And that's partly due to the fact that RNA's not here. The APM is starting to be stretched very thin for Team 1 and Team 2, frankly. But it's going to come down to how long does Team 1 let those artillery live, because the longer it goes on, the worse it's going to get. Team 2 is just going to turtle up. They have UEF. They don't have Seraphim, which would be worse because of their shield strength. They have UEF tech, so they can be turtled quite nicely. Artilleries and the like. They have a Fat Boy, 2 Fat Boys. That'll kind of slow the incursion from the brick side of things from Nogetsune. Over here in the east, there are more bricks inbound for MCV. just don't think Team 2 is going to have to really worry too much. They're moving northward. If they come through this way, it might be something of a issue, but I wouldn't be surprised to see more PD built in the interim. Is there any artillery being built elsewhere? I don't see much. There is a quantum gateway being built. We do see Fat Boy moving in and falling back, waving the way for a couple of Colossi to come in and save its butt. Fat Boy and 3 Colossi pushing in. I don't recommend this. Get all those Colossi together and then push in. Those bricks are going to rip that front one apart very quickly. No good tuning. Gets underneath the surface of the water in time to not really suffer too much damage. Harbingers are inbound. Fat Boy, yeah, I was going to say Fat Boy just needs to sit there. Hit points actually not great for that Fat Boy. And it looks like the Colossus is just going to stomp on the bricks. Stomping. Stomp, stomp, stomp. Fire, fire, fire. He's trying to stomp on us. Gunships are inbound. I hear explosions somewhere. It sounds like a comm, most likely, if not an SACU. Oh, there's something. Look at the entire western edge of Team 2's line is just dead. ASF fight for the first time, I think, in the game. Major one. Team 1's going to win that handedly. 1 Colossus is down, but most of those bricks are down and are just constantly falling back. It's not going good here for Team 2's ground forces. So look at all these Harbingers dying to all these gunships. More ASFs are inbound from Tantal. It's a war of 5 air forces. Everybody except faffing off has air forces. And Brick's trying to intercept and go, okay, we get it. You prepared. We get it. Go away now. Colossus continuing to push in. Looks like it's going for the headquarters and anything else. Artillery raining in. Looks like it's going up to the SMD here. That's not great here for Team 1. Oh, shot comes in. Takes out the hives. The crab that was being built and the SMD. Looks like that headquarters is going to be the target. Another shot inbound. Takes out a shield. Another T3 land not headquarters, but just a facility. Colossus, will it get the T3 land headquarters? It's not targeting it currently, and I don't think it is going to get it. We do see second Colossus is going to go down. A couple of Percys come in to assist, but that's not going to do much. And that is a not great scenario here for Team 2. Why did the Fat Boy push in? Oh, were the gunships? Nope, gunships will not block a shot, but it does get taken out, and the headquarters gets lost anyways due to T3 artillery. So that's not great. Team 2 has lost a lot of territory down here, though those bricks have been dealt with now. Look at that. Look at everything that's gone. And again, Team 1 has a huge hole on the western side as well. It just comes down to which team will lose which thing faster. 2 monkeys and a crab walk into a bar and have a satellite support system. And I think that artillery piece is not long for this world. Satellite has been started by faffing off. He's going to... Interesting. SMD is the target. Take out the SMD. Team 1 still has the nuke. Colossus will take out 1 of those 2 monkeys. Will not take out the second one. I think that artillery is not going to live to fight another day or fire another day. Looks like the air grid has been targeted. Will it hit the nuke? Oh, it barely misses the nuke. The shields are pretty much down, though. 1 shot will be enough. Will the emissary that's going to get taken out here by the incoming monkey and crab take out the nuke? The nuke does fire. The nuke is going to land at that position. Nogatsune control Ks. I don't understand that. There's nothing in... by the way, this is how you scout. Huh, weird. Anyway. Nuke is inbound. Crab is defeated. It doesn't matter. Team 2 still lost the SMD and the artillery piece. Satellite over top almost actually gets hit by that nuke. Colossus should be fine, though, for the most part. And kaboom. Most of the damage was already done by the artillery piece anyways. And the nuke, oh, it's taking a hit. 96,000 mass killed. Satellite, oh, it's in range, and there it goes. That secondary pulse wipes out the satellite. Very, very unfortunate. Is there a secondary no, artillery? Yep, there will be here shortly here. And the satellite has now been built down here, and a Duke has been started by Tantal. So Team 1 better have some big ticket item up their sleeve. They do have their own artillery piece online, so that's good. I don't see anything else, though, for Team 1 as of yet. More crabs. And that's about it. It's very much a licking of the wounds scenario here, especially the western side. Satellite over top. Colossus kind of just picking and prodding at Team 1's whatever's going on over there. Looks like the mechs is at the target. A couple of Perseus, though. That's going to help things out. SACU is not going to survive much longer. It probably will kill one Percy if it's lucky. And I don't think it'll even do that. Colossus is trying to go somewhere, but not really going anywhere. Looks like the artillery from Team 1 is targeting the air grid position here from Team 2's Stinky Joe. He is building a Mavor, though. Love to see that. We saw one last episode. So I'd love to see them whenever they appear. Another artillery, says Chap. I mean, is he saying build another one, or is he saying there is another one? I don't know what that means. Maybe he's just saying build another one. That artillery here from Team 2's Tantal is going up pretty quickly, though. 48 minutes on the clock here. Team 2 is looking pretty good. The reclaim scenario, actually, it's a very even game in terms of reclaim. Total mass accrued, though, here for Team 2, 3.6 million. Team 1, 2.8 million. Team 2 is still leading the mass generation game by at least 700 mass. It was about 900 or so. That lead is kind of shortened a little bit, but again, it's actually back up to 900 anyways, roughly. But again, that's rough numbers. I just don't think Team 1 has enough left in their tank to really do much. There is 2 Fat Boys, 2 Colossi, 3 Colossi. And it's just a matter of time before something collapses. There is a large group of bricks escorting a crab that's severely wounded. Lots of reclaim on the field. Speaking of which, how much is on the map? Oh, just, you know, 500,000 mass, and it's mostly on the western side of the map. Plenty of mass for Team 1 to fight back with. Artillery raining in, still trying to take out the air grid, but just don't think that's going to work. Even if the SMD is taken out, there's still a backup one up there. There's still an SMD over there. There's really nothing. There's an SMD right there that's pretty much loaded. Artillery is on the line, and that Colossus wreck is in the way, or Colossus construction is underway, in the way of a reactor that could go there. We do see it's just a torpedo versus torpedo fight. It's not really going any particular way. Strap bombers over here, though, going after the monkey. There's not a lot of defenders over here, but with the strap bomber threat here from MCV, it should be enough. Trying to dodge a little bit, but good luck trying to dodge with that thing. It is at 63,000 mass. Nuke is outbound from Team 1. It's going to take out this position. SMD has been built, and it might be loaded in time. It's going to be close, but I think it might actually be loaded in time. I just don't think it was worth enough to go for that. Yeah, that's really the only spot to put a nuke, but it's not really that. Again, it's the whole, even if it lands, it's not going to take out that much. SMD is not going to load in time. Very unfortunate. And the nuke is inbound. We'll see how much damage it does. SACUs, if they fleed. Oh, no, there's an SMD over here, and it was loaded just barely in time. So we had SACUs loading, and we had Hives loading. And the Hives won that battle of how fast somebody can load a SMD. Large group of crabs. Crab and a bunch of bricks. I keep saying the wrong thing for some reason. Colossus is down. Again, it's just feeding the reclaim horde here for Team 1. They could be producing game enders. They could be producing more artillery. They're just not really producing any bigger ticket items. Team 2, of course, has 2 artillery pieces online. That Duke, I don't know if that one solitary Duke is going to be enough. The nuke almost got taken out by those emissaries. And those shots are raining in very well. A little bit more to the left, and it would have been perfect for taking out the nuke. But just a 2-to-1 scenario with artillery, it's just not really going to go well. Looks like the SMD is the target over here. This is, of course, 4 loaded. Another artillery over here, though. I forgot that Duke was being built. Don't like the fact that the Novax isn't shielded. Put one one shield there, and that's it. Looks like the artillery may claim a Novax kill. I will see if that actually happens or not. But 52 minutes on the clock here. 3 artillery pieces here for Team 2, 1 artillery piece for Team 1. Just by the math alone, it's not going to go well. There gets, oh, there goes a group of P-gens. Chap is losing power now. Oh, he gets it back, but he's going to have to stop production on things. The satellite, still fine. And the battle in the middle is starting to favor Team 2 with all of the dead everything over here. Team 2 is just more of attritioning Team 1 at this point. And Stinky Joe says, I killed Cups and Failer. And there goes the shield grid. It's starting to collapse. Emitter is down. More emitters are coming offline due to lack of shielding or power for said shielding. Well played, last, says Stinky Joe. He's really happy about it. He's building his Novax, his Mavor. It's half done. Novax is so lame, says MCV. Well, to be fair, Team 1's had one for a while, so kind of hard to say they're not lame. But did take out a lot of mixes over here for faffing off, so yeah, faffing off is commenting about that. Ooh, artillery right in. It'll hit the shield for the Fat Boy. Nice protection there. The P-Gen, though, wouldn't have been enough. Ooh, that's a not great landing there here from Team 1. Shield comes back online. No real issues there. And the shield strength is slowly starting to fade here for Team 1's Chap. He's really trying to keep that central shield online, but unfortunately it does come offline. Oh, one little shot will be enough. All the shields are down. Emissary will land in the middle, take out the artillery and a P-Gen. And there goes the threat from the artillery, and soon the nuke will go down. I feel like once the nuke is down, Team 1 is out of stuff. And there goes Chap. He control K's in the water. He's like, I'm done with this. Team 2 wins the game kind of thing. MCV, last remaining player for Team 1. 54 minutes on the clock here. And we'll see how long he stays in the game. I think it's just kill whatever. Oh, that is the wrong button. Kill whatever they can kill here for Team 2. Mavor's at 75%. Don't tell me MCV is going to stay in the game just so that the Mavor can be built. I feel like that's not going to happen, but he's still going to sit it out. Has cloaking and laser on board, of course. Hasn't changed his upgrades. Sitting at a ton of power, so he just could transition to teleport and go for a kill. Gunship's going to take out a couple of fatties, though. That's not a great day. Those got taken out simultaneously. The nuke is now down. And that is the last big ticket item here for Team 1. Looks like ASF are just going to go for a full send-it move, and they actually don't get a great initial engagement. Oh, but Team 2's Stinky Joe just leaves anyways. So there went that. ASF inbound from Tantar just get ripped apart. And Scathis, I didn't even see this. Scathis is now built, and it's heavily wounded, but it's built. Team 2's satellites were trying to target that thing. And Stinky Joe's like, hey, I want mass. I want to build my Mavor. And that Scathis might be the thing that can bring Team 1 back in this game. It is a small chance. There is, of course, 3 artillery pieces online, so not great chance. Shields for Cyber. Oh, and there it went. Very anticlimactic. Artillery was rebuilt over here. You killed my fun. So sad, says MCV. Yeah, that's got to feel not great. Anyways, GG, well played. Mavor has been completed. There goes MCV's commander. And that is the game here, folks. 56 minutes, 20 seconds on the clock. Team 2 wins the game. MVP. I feel like Tantal, I can never pronounce his name right, did a very, very good job. RNA, I think, was the front runner for MVP, but fortunately he had to go. Not his choice. But had he continued, I think it would have been the same kind of trend line, and maybe he would have pushed into Nogetsune's position a lot sooner. Maybe, possibly, maybe, but definitely didn't help that Team 2 lost a player for connection issues. It did look like even if the artillery didn't exist, the land incursion was going to happen, and they were gunning for that Scathis, so that wasn't really going to work out. But again, I think MVP goes to Tantal. He did a very good job. Faffing off did as well going on this eastern edge, but I think Tantal just eked it out just a tiny bit, especially being gifted over, or not gifted, but handed over a bunch more stuff. He's like, okay, here you go. Go for it. So that was the game here, folks. And hopefully everybody enjoyed. Again, I do apologize for my lack of professionalism when it comes to speaking. Sometimes my brain is firing all cylinders, and sometimes my brain is mush, sometimes being most of the time. But again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I will see all of you in the next one.